Alright, alright, Shalom. Kahalayam La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Much peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful that pushing his word in truth and sincerity of heart. Shalom. This is the brother Batak back again through the spirit with another lesson. The Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Title of this lesson is going to be We Are Witnessing the Fall of Edomite Hegemony. I think that's what I was going to title it. Decline of Edomite Hegemony. So, as you know, on the world stage, America, the greatest kingdom in the world, is being embarrassed by Iran, and technically America has been losing this war that's going on between them and Iran, as well as the state of Israel. And this is nothing but an embarrassment to the pride of Esau. You know, Edomite hegemony is on a decline, and this is the Lord. This is the doing of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, man. You know, because you had your hegemony, you had your kingdom, you had your power, you had your empire, your domination of the nations for a period of time. You had your beginning, you had your incline, you had your climax, and now you're declining. You see? So we are witnessing the decline of Edomite, which Edomite is the so-called white person. You're not really white, you're red. Edom comes from the Hebrew word Adawam, which means red. Why? Why was you called red? One of the reasons why you called red because of your lack of pigmentation. Edom, which means red, Adawam. So the red man, that red dragon, see, he's talking about you so-called white people. So your hegemony is declining, and it's all through prophecy, because ultimately, at the end of the day, the God of the Bible, whose name is Yahweh, is the one that's causing this to happen to you. You was able to triumph. Let me see. You was triumphing, but now you're not triumphing anymore. Why is that? Because your time is almost up. Job chapter 20 verse 5, it says, I'm gonna start at 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. See, your triumphing is only going to be short-lived. Your hegemony, your conquering, your empire is only going to be short-lived. And now we are witnessing with our own two eyes the fall of this great empire known as America, which in the scripture is known as Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon. So the word hegemony means dominance, leadership, originally of predominance of one city-state or another in Greek history. See, so America's nothing but a big city that has been dominating over the nations, but now your domination is coming to an end. It says from the Greek hegemonia, which means leadership, a leading the way, a going first. And it says also the authority or sovereignty of one city-state over a number of others. See, America had that. They had that dominance over these other nations. You know, if America placed sanctions on you, you basically, your economy is fucked. because ultimately America controls a large portion of the world's economy. The world reserve currency is what? The US dollar. But now the dollar is becoming weak. And through that petrodollar, you was able to control and be, that petrodollar furthered your hegemony. It gave you power over the nations. But now that's coming to an end. See? So we are witnessing the decline of Edomite hegemony. Let's go to the Google real quick and let's type in, I need to keep this. I want to keep that PDF. Nature knows no color lines. I want to read that. Let's see. What? Let me see. What does it mean for hegemony to decline? What does it mean for hegemony to decline? Hegemonic decline means a dominant global power is losing its ability to shape international rules, enforce global order, and influence other states' behaviors. It represents a shift from a unipolar world, one leader, to a multipolar one, where power becomes dispersed among competing nations. Is that not what's happening right now? America is facing a hegemonic decline. Let's see. Let's read that again. Hegemonic decline means a dominant global power. It wasn't America a dominant over global power at one point in time? Yes, it was. Losing its ability to shape international rules. So, with this war going on between America and Iran, America telling Iran to open the strait, Iran's like, nah, we ain't opening the strait. You can't make us open it. So America used to be able to be the big bully on the block, tell everybody what to do, and everybody listened, and everybody feared America. They got a great military, blah, 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 blah. But now, it ain't so much. So much so that even Trump he's looking like a fool right now, man. He done started this war with Iran, and he can't win it. He can't get the upper hand. And America is being embarrassed right now. Embarrassed. And it just shows you how much the Most High has it out for this place. And that he is purposed to overthrow it. Hegemonic decline means a dominant global power is losing its ability to shape international rules, enforce global order, and influence other states' behavior. It represents a shift from a unipolar world, one leader, to a multipolar one, where power becomes dispersed among competing nations. In America, you got some competitors, man. China is one of them. China beat America to launch their brain chip. So, we ultimately know what this is all about. All of these nations are going to pass their own, make those chips mandatory and things like that. But the point is, America's getting out-competed by these other nations. They're being challenged. Their hegemony is being challenged. And the scriptures tell you that the Most High is going to bring an assembly of nations upon. Cause assembly of nations. Let me see where that scripture's at. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 9, it says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country." There's no record of this happening to ancient Babylon. So what Babylon is it referring to? It's referring to America. Babylon comes from the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion. Is not America a land of confusion, where men could be women and women could be men? Is that not confusion? Where the authority of a man is the authority of a woman is more important than the authority of a man? Isn't that confusion? And there's many other examples of why America's a land of confusion, man. It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. See? So the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua, is causing an assembly of nations to come up against America, to overthrow it. Key characteristics of hegemonic decline. I might entitle it Edom is on a hegemonic decline or something like that. It says economic erosion. The dominant powers share a global wealth. Trade and manufacturing shrinks. Competing states may also challenge the global dominance of its currency. For example, the U.S. dollar, and there are currencies that's challenging the U.S. dollar right now. Let's Google that. What currencies are challenging the U.S. dollar? What currencies is challenging the U.S. dollar? All right, it says the Chinese renminbi, the yuan. China's currency is the primarily state-backed challenger to the dollar. Beijing is actively pursuing policies to turn the blah 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 into a global reserve currency. See, so that's just giving an example, man. You know, these different currencies are challenging the U.S. dollar. Let's go back. Military overstretch. It says the financial and operational costs of maintaining overseas bases, alliances, and conflicts exceed what the hegemon's economy and can comfortably stand. Is not America's military being stretched too thin? They're losing allies, so much so that even their European allies was at one point, they was telling you don't fly you're not going to use our bases to attack Iran. You see, so America's losing allies. Their allies are coming against them. And now Bibi or Trump is mad at Bibi. They're going at each other, man. They're not on the same page over Iran. And financially, America's circling the drain. And we're going to get a video to show you that. You know, Trump talking about a Great Depression again. Why? Because he walked right into a hornet's nest. And he's feeling the pain. Which we ultimately know, man, that all of these things must happen for prophecy to be fulfilled. You know, we know that behind closed doors, certain strings and things are being pulled. All of this is a part of the Esau's playbook to bring in that new currency, you know, the CBDCs, which ultimately is going to lead to the RFID microchip being made mandatory under the penalties of death. It's going to be the new system, out with the old, in with the new. Loss of legitimacy. It says the leading nation struggles to enforce its preferred international norms, leading to allies and rivals ignoring or circumventing its rules. Ooh, isn't that not what? Usually America has a lot of say-so in NATO and things of that nature. But recently, America's allies, NATO and the EU nations, have been, distancing themselves from America. They don't, it came out a couple months ago, like when this war kicked off, America wanted the NATO nations to basically help them out against Iran, but the NATO nations was like, no, we're not doing that. Fuck you. They gave him the big middle finger, man. No, we're not doing that. You're not, and they're not allowing, they wasn't allowing America to use their bases either, like I previously stated. So, loss of legitimacy. Your allies don't even respect you anymore. It says the rise of rival powers. It says emerging nations build their own economic, military, and diplomatic networks, which directly challenge the hegemon's influence. And that's happening as well. So all of these things that's mentioning the characteristics of a hegemonic decline is actually happening to America in some way, shape, or form. And I don't gotta pull up every article just to show you that. If you got eyes to see, you see it. If you're not paying attention to what's going on the world stage, you won't see it. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah, we're paying attention to what's going on the world stage. So let's replay this video. Copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So let's get to it.
Alternative would be a worldwide depression. The stupid people want to have a worldwide depression, and they're stupid people. So you can only go so far. You drive somebody into the ground and a lot of bad things happen. Number one, the Strait would never open because they don't like floating billion-dollar ships up and down a strait when there are rockets flying over them and mines all over the place. So.
And with those words, I would get ready if I were you. That is the first public admission from Trump and the White House that they lack the cards. They are not in the seat in which he tries to say that we've been in, and this is about to become a disaster. Last week, going on a week now, he said we're 4 weeks from disaster. He said this himself on camera, and now he is telling the whole world that a U.S. Great Depression is on the horizon. He is warning you flat out because there's rules to the game. He said it. A bunch of people missed it. You need to share this and get this out there and tell people, hey, if you're not seeing what's going on, they're about to reset the whole globe, the entire planet. He said the Strait will never open.
The Great Reset, a digital reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
There's no Iran deal. There hasn't been. And they're giving 60 days. That is 2 months. That's a lot longer than 4 weeks.
They keep on trying to come up with a deal and no deal being reached. The Strait opened and then boom, it closed again. Because, hey, this thing it ain't gonna be resolved easily, man. Ultimately, the Lord is gonna bring that World War III, man. That third war is nuclear war. America's gonna be destroyed in that war, and that's according to Bible prophecy, man. A lot of people don't believe in the Bible, but guess what? They're gonna see it. You're gonna fucking see it. Like building off the lesson I did earlier. then shall you know there have been a prophet among you, man. Then you're gonna know there's been a prophet among you. Then you're gonna know that we was legit. We was for real, because, you know. This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. See, that's the job that's what the ancient prophets we used to do. Prophesied against these different empires, these different kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence, man. And America's no different. We're telling you about the evils that's going to come before this place. Why is it coming? Because of all of the wickedness and the evil that the leaders, which are Edomites, so-called white people, have done. This is how they're going to be paid back by the Most High. This is their judgment. And if you don't turn back to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, and turn back and believe in those names and call upon those names in truth and sincerity and preach the gospel if you need be, then you're going to be a casualty. You're going to be a partaker of the Most High's wrath. The scripture says, kiss the Son. When you look at the word kiss in the Hebrew, I believe it's nasak, if I'm not mistaken. It means to put in order, to set in order. So set yourself in order with the Most High through His Son, so you don't burn, you don't be destroyed when He brings down that wrath, the wrath of the Most High Yahweh. Verse 9, it says, the prophet which prophesieth the peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh had truly sent him. So that's how you vet if a man is a real prophet or a false prophet. See, if he prophesies something and it happens, or which the word prophesy means to say before. So what have the apostles been saying before? They've been saying, oh, the MOTB is the R5 microchip. World War III is coming. Martial law, and that's just to name a few. So when those words actually come to pass, then the world is going to know that who the real, the authentic prophets are that was sent by the Most High. You see? Because they are the ones that's breaking down these scriptures the right way and bringing out the true warning about the future events that is going to happen in the times that we're living in. Because the Most High always sends us prophets out before the destruction comes. Because He's just. He's fair. So we are witnessing a hegemonic decline of the nation of Edom.
And if you can do the math, you clearly see there's a problem. We have people flipping out there saying that you better stock up on supplies. The price of fertilizer itself, they're stating right now, is going through the roof. That the ingredient...
Yeah, that's the Strait of Hormuz is causing a lot of trouble. It's causing an energy crisis. Gas prices are soaring, fertilizer is expensive, and it's going to ultimately can cause a lot of problems for America as well as other countries, man, that rely heavily on the Strait of Hormuz being open.
And everything that you need for all your food just got way more expensive. Your grocery bills are about to soar too. And they've come out and they said Warsh and all them are expected to raise rates 3 times this year. They are planning to crush this place. All the warning signs are there. I've covered them. I've told you. It's all there. It
ain't no safety but in Yahweh Bashim Shah. And that's what That's what we here for, man. To teach you what a real safe haven is. To trust in Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. Trust in those names, you know, because that's the only safe haven from these coming calamities or perils, evils that are about to befall this world. Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7 tells you the Most High creates good and He creates evil. So it's best to be on His side because He can protect you from the evil that He's orchestrating and that He's creating. So just wanted to do this quick lesson. You see what? Didn't I think about another video? America's done. This place is finished. Just waiting for the Lord to put the cherry on top. The MOTB will be here soon, and then once that comes, it's up in flames for this place. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I'm gonna close out by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, and Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.